Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the new normal class of Mathematics 7. I am your teacher, Romel Palado. Today we will be discussing about the topic, Fundamental Geometry Constructions using Straightedge and Compass. This will be the 5th week of the 3rd quarter. May I present to you first our objectives for today's discussion. In this lesson, you are expected to first perform basic constructions in geometry using compass and straightedge and apply knowledge of basic construction to draw geometric figures. Before proceeding to our topic, let us first have a sort of review of the past lesson, which is angles. When we say angle, an angle is a union of two non-collinear rays that shares a common endpoint called vertex. What are the types of angles? We have the right angle, acute angle, and obtuse angle. When we say right angle, it measures exactly 90 degrees. Acute angle, it measures less than 90 degrees. And obtuse angle measures greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. But when the angles involves rotation, we can have initial point and terminal points of angles. There are another types of angles such as zero angle, straight angle, reflex angle, and the paragon angle. When we say zero angle, it measures 0 degrees. Straight angle measures exactly 180 degrees. Reflex angle measures more than 180 degrees but less than 270 degrees. And a paragon measures 360 degrees. We also tackle about the angle pairs. We say the two angles are adjacent if two angles shares a common side. We can also say that the two angles are complementary if their sum is 90 degrees. We can also say that the two angles are supplementary angles if their sum is 180 degrees. Vertical angles are opposite angles. Just like for the example in the illustration here, the angle beta and the angle alpha are vertical angles, which means they share or they have the same value of measurements. Linear pair also measures 180 degrees. Lastly, we discuss about the transversal line. A transversal line is a line that intersects two or more lines. We have interior angles are formed inside after cut by a transversal line, while exterior angles are formed outside after cut by a transversal line. Alternate interior angles are formed inside after cut by a transversal line in an opposite direction, while alternate exterior angles are formed outside after cut by a transversal line in an opposite direction. Lastly, corresponding angles are angles that consist of one interior angles and one exterior angles. The goal of this is to expose you in some terms of geometry like bisector and perpendicular. Also, familiarity with instruments, just like compass and straightedge in basic geometry construction. Constructions using compass and straightedge have a long history in Euclidean geometry. Their utilization mirrors the fundamental axioms of this system. Let us first define the following terms below. A bisector is a line that divides something into two equal parts. Just like in the illustration below, line segment MN bisects line segment AB. A bisector, which means to divide something into two equal parts. The perpendicular bisector is a line perpendicular to another line that divides the original line into two congruent parts. Just like in the illustration below, line K is the perpendicular bisector of line M, which means line K is perpendicular with line M. We have compass. Compass is an instrument for drawing circles and arcs and measuring distances between points, consisting of two arms linked by a movable joint, one arm ending in a point and the other usually carrying a pencil or a pen. As you can see in the illustration below, that is an example of a compass. Straight edge is a ruler with or without units, used to guide in making a straight line or figure. Basic geometry constructions. In geometry, the word construction means to draw geometric figures accurately. These constructions use a compass or straight edge or a ruler and a pencil. This is the pure form of geometric construction. No computation is involved. The imprints showed in the ruler may not be utilized as measurement. Basic Geometry Construction 1. First, construct a segment congruent to a given segment, line segment DE. How to construct line segment MN congruent to DE? Step 1. Use the straight edge to draw a line and indicate a point M on the line. Step 2. Fix compass opening to match the length of DE. Step 3. Mark on the line the point N with the distance DE from M. Did you get it? Okay, let's proceed with construction number 2. Construction number 2, construction of an angle congruent to a given angle. We have a given B. Construct B congruent to B. Step 1. Draw an arbitrary arc with center B of the given angle. Then with the same compass setting, redraw the arc with center B. Step 2. Measure the arc between the sides of the original angle, then mark off this measure on the arc with center B. Step 3. Join the mark to B. It's easy, you know it? Basic Geometry Construction number 3. Construction of the midpoint and perpendicular bisector of segment. Given line segment DE. How to construct the midpoint X of line segment MN and perpendicular bisector of DE. Step 1. Using center D and radius R, which is more than half of DE, draw two arcs on both sides of DE. Mark the intersection of the arcs as M and N. Step 2. Connect M and N using a straight edge, forming line MN that intersects DE at point X. Step 3. Line MN is the perpendicular bisector of DE, and the intersection of MN with DE is the midpoint X of DE. Now, let's try to answer this kind of problem. Read each item carefully, then encircle the correct answer. Which tool is used constructing bisector of an angle? A. Clinometer, B. Protractor, C. Ruler, D. Weighing scale. The answer is letter C, because we are going to simply construct bisectors. So meaning, we are going to draw a line. Number 2. Which of the following terms refers as a line that divides something into two equal parts? A. Angle, B. Bisector, C. Line segment, D. Parallel. The answer is letter B. Bisector, because bisector line is a line that divides something into two equal parts. An angle is a union of two non-collinear rays with a common end points called vertex. A line segment consists of two end points. A parallel do not meet. Number 3. Which tool is used in marking an arc? A. Clinometer, B. Compass, C. Protractor, D. Ruler. The answer is A. Clinometer, because compass is used to draw an arc. Since we are talking about marking an arc, that is clinometer. Letter C, also protractor, it is an instrument to measure an angle, but not in marking an arc. D cannot measure an arc or cannot do the marking of an arc. Let's proceed with number 4. What should be the use of a compass in bisecting angle MLN in figure 1? A. Drawing, B. Lining, C. Marking, D. Pointing. As you can see in the figure 1, there are marks of point M, G, and N. So, that is letter C, marking. Number 5. What basic construction is shown in figure 2? A. Constructing an angle congruent to a given angle. B. Constructing a midpoint and perpendicular bisector of a segment. C. Constructing a parallel to a given line through a given point not on a line. D. Constructing a segment congruent to a given segment. The answer is letter A. Constructing of an angle congruent to a given angle. So, the given angle there is the angle G. So, the answer is letter A. Thank you everyone for listening. If you have any queries or clarifications, just simply log on to our e-learning site, Global Academy Institute of Technology Foundation Incorporated, and just simply like, share our YouTube channel, Global Academy Institute of Technology Foundation Incorporated. If you want to attend the asynchronous class, just go to the Facebook page, GAET-F Grade 7. And if you have any questions or clarifications regarding our topic for today, just simply contact me to my cell phone number 0930-680-829. Again, contact me to my cell phone number 0930-680-829. God bless everyone. Have a blessed day. Stay safe.